welcome everybody. Today's workshop we're going to cover how to make a body overlay from start to finish. Now this is a little bit different than applying it to a skin tone because it's not permanent. It's something that with the use of an overlay box the sim can add or remove. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So what we want to do here, we create a brand new body shop project. It needs to be underwear. Well, it doesn't have to be. I've done it with regular clothes before, but the preference for some reason it seems to see underwear a little bit easier. So I already have this just project that I don't intend to do anything with. I already named it throwaway. And we import into game. And that's as far as we need to go with that. So now we can close out a body shop for now. And then pop open our overlay copy notes. Those should be in the material thread. And then we want to hop over to Save Sims, where we exported the project. We go to the Save Sims folder, and what I do, I just rename so we can open that up. We don't need the package. We just need to copy that group ID. So then down here in your notes where it says overlay 1, the group value, we just paste that group ID after the 0x. So we just delete that unused project from the saved sim folder. And then, so we go to the overlay workshop folder. And I'm just saving a backup of that. So we open up that, or well, let's rename this before we get ahead of ourselves. So we're renaming that Quintessia Blackwork Tattoo number 1. I'm just gonna go Maxis Sports Paint 1, just like that. So we pop that open, and I like to work backwards. So we start all the way down at the bottom, the XTOL. We select that in the resource tree, and then again from the resource list. And then, so we take that group value, copy that, and then where we've got the overlay names, we just paste that after the 0x here. And we're going to give this guy a new name. So we call it Maxis Sports.
Tiana has a question.
Oh.
Tiana is asking, I was wondering actually, by the way, what can overlay boxes be used for other than the body? Like, for example, I don't know if it would be possible to do a hair ombre overlay and adding it on top of the hair texture that's already there.
I don't think so, no, because the hair texture relies on different meshes. This is essentially for the body. I mean, tattoos, body hair overlays, body paint. It's applied right onto the skin. So, did that answer the question? Okay, moving on. So we made up a name for an overlay. In this case, it's Maxis Sports Overlay 1. And then we select in the XTOL, we select this name value where it says Quinticia Blackwork 1. Everything after the underscore, we just paste that value name. And then we grab everything except the 2 pound signs and the exclamation point. So it's 0x and then your unique group. Double click on that and paste over there. So then we commit. Moving on to the TXTR. So we start here, and if you're doing separate male and female overlays, it's important to make sure that you're replacing the correct body paint, or the correct age and gender. So we paste over Quinticia Blackwork 1 with the new name. And then we go build DXT, open the image, and I'm going to grab this one that says Sports Paint 1. I'm eventually going to do all of these just because it seems like a waste to get started on a project and then not finish it. And this one begins with UF, so we know that this is young adult, adult, and elder female. So we just paste over in the name, we replace the texture, we click Fix TGI, and then we commit. The Fix TGI, this is going to update the instance number. It's going to give it a, it's not going to be the same as the overlay that we're replacing, that we cloned this from. So here we've got UU face overlay. We'll paste that there. It's like I got an extra space in there. And normally, if there's already an existing texture, we would just put the blank 512 by 512 texture over that. And I'm going to do that now just as an illustration of how it's done. Build. And then same as before, we fix TGI and then commit. So the next one down. This is UM body. So we replace the text in the file name. Build DXT. Sports 1. Build. And then before we commit, fix TGI and then commit. Next one down. This is UU hair bald overlay. So this is just the scalp. Unless your sim is bald, you're not even going to see this. It's already blank. So I'm just going to fix TGI and commit. Then here, this is TM body. So it's 14 male. So we replace the text, replace the texture, fix TGI, commit. Then here, this is TF body. So we replace the text, replace the texture, fix TGI, and commit. Double check that, make sure that all of those resources are updated. Those look good. Okay, moving on. We move to the next resource up on the tree, which is text list. Select that again in the research or the resource list. And I'm just going in the top line, I'm just going to go Maxis Sports Overlay 1. Commit. Now here we still have the overlay name copied, correct? So everything after the underscore, we just paste the name. Do that all the way down this side of the list. Okay, so we replaced all of that text. Now we hop back over to our notes. So we copy the unique group name. Again, we're leaving out, this time we're leaving out the two pound signs and the exclamation point. And then watch this. So we just go over to the old group number, double click and paste. Remember, that's just the 0x and then the unique group number, not the pound sign and the exclamation point. And then we just double click and paste all the way down this side. Just like that. Now, with that unique group number still copied, we hop up here to the GZPS, the property set. Let's organize the instance by instance number. Select the first one in the resource tree, and then we double click over the unique group instance number, and we paste and commit. Then we just move down to the next one, do the same thing, commit, commit, commit there. Do that. Commit and paste and commit. Okay, so we save so we don't lose our place. Then we go back up to the top of the resource list. And now we grab the unique name of the overlay. And we paste that over everything after the underscore. Commit. And then we move down to the next resource, do the same thing. Paste, commit. Paste, commit. Paste, commit. Paste, commit. Paste, commit. Paste, commit. And paste, commit. Okay, then we go ahead and save. So at this point, we have modified the xtol, the 6txtr, the text list, and the 9gzps. So now comes the tricky part, the txmt. We sort by reference name. Now we go over to the text that we copied. Paste over. Sorry, we're copying from, we're copying everything including the two pound signs and the exclamation point, and we just paste over. and then we grab the name, the overlay name, and we paste between the two underscores, and we click Fix TGI, and we commit. You'll notice that the instance and instance high values change as soon as you do that. So then we'll go over here, paste between the two underscores, because that's what we already had copied, and then we copy the unique group number again, and we paste, fix TGI, commit. Then we do the third one. Fix TGI and commit. Then we do the fourth one. Just the same technique. We copy the entire unique group number and the resource name, fix TGI, and commit. Then again, the unique group number, resource name, fix TGI, and commit. The name, the number, fix TGI, commit. Okay, and then here, we're going to go ahead and save that, but we still have a few more steps to do. So I guess the easiest way would be to copy the group number. Now, instead of changing this in the file name, we're going to the material definition tab. We just paste over here. Properties tab. We paste the unique group number here. And the file list. So we hit those three tabs. We just replace the group number. The reason for this is I just don't like copying it 20 different times every time I change resources. It's easier to replace all of the group numbers and then all of the group names. So we do that one. Once again, material definition, properties, file list. Commit, and we move on to the next one. Material definition, properties, file list. Commit, material definition, properties, file list. And again, a material definition, properties, and file list. So we commit, and then we save. Then we hop back up to the top, and we copy the unique resource name. So in the material definition, we just paste it over everything after that underscore. And then in properties, we just double click on everything after the dash. And the file name is the same thing. The reason for this, the material definition tab is the name of the resource itself, and in properties and file list is telling you which texture to reference. So the txmt is expressed with an underscore, and the file name, the txtr, is expressed with a dash. So we do the same thing here. And then we just double click everything after the dash, and same thing here. So there's 2. Damn it. That's the 3rd one. We'll paste over here. We'll paste over here and commit. And then we paste this over here. Come on. Don't fail me now, cursor. Okay. Then we do this one. Just paste over everything after the dash. Commit. And we've got one more. Okay, so we're just replacing all of this text in all of the TXMTs. Okay, now is a good point to stop for questions. Do we have any questions? Okay, moving on to the next step. So we've worked the xtool, all 6 TXTR, the STR, the GZPS, and all 6 TXMT. So now we hop over to the resource tab. So do you remember when I said let's order this by name with teen female at the top? Okay, so now let's hop back over to the quick copy notes. So the teen female body, we're looking at, we grab the new instance high value and copy it, and then we just paste it here. Then we grab the teen male, paste that new value here. Then we grab the UF, paste UM, the instance high value, and paste. And then the UU face, and we paste. And then the UU hair, and we paste over. Just like that. Let's get that. Well, no. I don't want to save over that. Oh, might as well. Okay, so now we need to grab our new group value. So to do that, it's this same group value that we just generated, but just the 0x and then the 8 characters. We don't need the pound signs or the exclamation point for this. We just copy it. Then starting at the bottom, we go to the X tool and we just paste over the new group. And here we don't need to commit. We just move on to the next resource. Now for the TXTR, because there are 6 of them, what we can do, we just shift select. We grab the first one in the resource list, hold down shift, then go down to the bottom one on the resource list, and it will select all 6. Then we just paste over. The STR, paste over the new group. The GZPS, we can once again shift select. Then the TXMT, we do the same thing. We replace the group. Okay, we skip directory of compressed resources. We skip collection for now. And then we go to Binks. In the Binks, it's always going to give you this pop-up for some reason. It's just SimPE being whiny. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. So for the binks, once again, we shift select all 10 of those and just paste over the group value. That leaves the 3 IDR. So the first thing we do with the 3 IDR, we order by instance number. So you'll notice there are 10 3 IDR with an instance number of 1 to A, and then another with instance numbers, another 10 with instance numbers of 11 to 1A, and then an odd one. We don't want to mess with the odd one. We want to grab just the first 20. If you ordered by instance number, it's just the first 20. What are you doing, SimPE? Every time you open a 3 IDR, for some reason, it has to load the file table. Okay, so I think it's done loading now. So we just grab the first 20 and paste over the group value, hop to a different resource so it can commit itself, then go back to the 3 IDR. Okay, so we've changed the group number to our new group number value. So now, remember that odd one? This one, it has the same instance value as the collection. So what we need to do, tools, object tools, hash generator. So here we select the CRC32 radio dial and we copy this value here. Okay, don't touch the type or the group in this case. Those need to remain as they are. Just grab the new hash that you generated, paste over the instance value of this odd 3 IDR. Move to move to a different resource so that it updates. Then we go to the collection file. You see it's got that same instance number. We paste over the new instance number and just move to another resource and it commits itself. Save that right quick. Hop back over to our notepad. And now on the notes, we'll see that we've got this collection instance thing. So what we need to do here, paste over the new collection value. And I like to leave a space between the first 4 and the last 4 characters. I will explain that when we work on the overlay box. And we're going to save. Okay, now we switch back to the plugin view. And we should have the hash generator, the hash generator still open. So the next thing that we need to do, we go all the way back down to the X tool. In the hash generator, we switch to the GID radio dial. Select this huge long string of numbers and then just paste over the family value. Commit. Save. Next, the GZPS. So here, this is very important. If you have them ordered by instance, you'll see that the first 5, those correspond to the body. And then the last 4, those correspond to the scalp overlay. So what we do here, we'll back to CRC32 and then back to GID, and it generates a completely new string of hash. So we copy that, grab family, and because this is instance 1, we're pasting over here. With that same hash still copied, we do all of the body GZPS. So we're pasting over 1 to 5. We're just pasting over that same family value. And there's 5. So next, we move on to the hairs. Back to CRC32, back to GUID. We grab that whole new string of hash that it just generated. And now we can close this. Then we paste over this hash. We do that with 6. We do that with instance 7, instance 8, and instance 9. Okay, we're almost there. Go ahead and save that. Okay, so do we have any questions at this point? This is a long process, so if you're not clear on any one step, let me know. Okay, so next we move in the resource tree, we jump up to the 3 IDR and we go to the one that ends in 1. Okay, so the one that ends in 1, we look at the material definition and we look at the instance high value, which is the second one. It ends in A72B. So then we hop over to our sheet here. Remember the instance high numbers of the material definitions? Okay, so we look at A72B. That one needs to be replaced with 2CE9. Okay, so what we're doing, we're replacing the one that ends in AZ2B with the one that ends in 2CE9. So we scroll down in the instance window, or in the package window, to material definitions, and we look for the one that ends in 2CE9. We just grab that, we drag that over here to the GZPS, or I'm sorry, to the 3IDR, and we delete that material definition. The ones with the low instance numbers, 1 to A, these correspond directly to the banks. Next, we move on to 2. Okay, the instance high number ends in 63B6. So if we look over here on our cheat sheet, 63B6 corresponds to 168A. So we grab the one that ends in 168A, delete the old one. So just replace that one with the one that ends in 168A. Then we move on to 3. Now I know from experience this one corresponds to teen female, but if you're not sure, always refer to the cheat sheet. So this one ends in 54CD. 54CD, the new material definition, that one ends, the instance high ends in 15E3. So we look over here, 15E3, we drag that over, and we delete the old one and commit. So this one, the old one, this corresponds to teen male. Again, I know from experience from making hundreds of overlays, but you should if you're new to this, always refer to the cheat sheet. So 9050 corresponds to 2F80. So we look over here and it's the very top one. We drag that over, we delete that, and we commit. So number 5 is also teen male, ends in 9050. So we just drag that over, delete. Now these next 4, these are all scalps. So 6 ends in 305E. If you look down here, 305E is UU hair bald overlay, and the new one should end in 6FDA. So we just grab 6FDA, drag it over, delete the old one, commit. Same thing, 305E, just replace it with the one that ends in 6FDA. Same thing with 8, 305E, replace it with the one that ends in 6FDA. Same thing with 9. Okay, so this one, 10, is a little bit different because it only has one material definition string. This is the one that corresponds to the face overlay. So this one ends in C013. If we look on the cheat sheet, C013 gets replaced with the one that ends in 7315. So we grab that one. We delete the original value. It's just like the others, except there's only one line of text. Then we commit, and that's those. So now, let me see if I can expand SimPE a little bit, because it does tend to get a bit confusing. Okay, so now we're done with the cheat sheet. So we move on to 11. So now here, this is a little bit different. So we've got collection, property set, and text list. These all have the values of the old overlay. So we go collection, drag the old one, property set 1, and text list. Then, just as before, we delete the original strings. And we go to 12, collection, property set 2, text list, and delete the old strings. This does get a bit tedious. This is by far the more time consuming part of the project. Collection, property set 3 this time, text list. And I have done goodness. I think about 100 at this point. All of my barbarians at the gate, they have 10 overlays, and I've done 7 of those boxes. And then Estorpajos al Aire, those all have 12 overlays each. So yeah, I've gotten in a bit of practice. Collection, property set 5, text list, just like that. No one individual step is particularly overwhelming. It's just a long process. Collection, property set 6, text list. And move on to 17, collection, property set 7, text list. Move on to 18, collection, property set 8 this time, text list. Collection, property set 9, and text list, and then we delete those. Okay, now this one that ends in 1A, again, it corresponds to the X tool. the one for the face. So here we go collection, and then texture overlay XML or Xtool, and then text list. So it's
Beatrice is asking, you have to do all this changing stuff for each different overlaid image, right?
yes, every overlay is going to take you about 30-40 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're replacing, you're essentially manually replacing every resource in the package because you can't just like clone it. Okay, so that is it. That is the overlay file. So now let's go to the test overlay box. Okay, so let's give ourselves kind of a fun font. It's a sport overlay box, so not bicycle. What was the other sporty font that I used? I use a bunch of fonts because I really try to. I mean, for me, the title cards are art. The title card is what calls your attention to the project. So that one looks cool. Let's make that kind of a red color. And this is like the standard is going to be like 256 by 256, but this is 512 by 512 because I like to add a little bit of character to my overlay boxes. That font could be larger, so let's do one of those. And let's crank that up to about 72. That's a bit big. What 60 looks like? 60 looks reasonable. Let's make that a bit darker. And square it up. And then see what happens when you do a stroke. That looks pretty cool. I'm just messing around. I mean, this isn't a serious project for me. Okay, but the problem is when you apply it to the overlay box, it's going to be upside down. So we need to reopen this. We go image, rotate 180 degrees, and then save it as a JPEG. Okay, so let's replace this generic texture with our overlay box. And I'll explain to you why we want it upside down. Let's generate a preview. Okay, so you tilt the box, and lo and behold, it's right side up. So many people don't get that Maxis mapped the original pose box thingy backwards. So when you put in the texture right side up, it's upside down in your catalog. Okay, so oh, this is the string. That's not what we need. We need CTSS. So I'm going to rename this Maxis. Change the catalog description a bit. Then we go to our OBJD, and we need a new GID. So let me hop over here. My GIDs. And for most users, you're going to just generate a random GID, but I like to have mine on a spreadsheet because I create so many objects. I just like to have better control of it. Grab that, paste it over, commit, and save. Okay, so we've got a new GID. We replaced the texture. We have one more step on the overlay box itself. So here we go to the beacon. Now, do you remember the collection values that I had that we notated? So we go to the collection value. We grab the first 4 characters, and this is where it gets confusing. We go to line 1, and we paste that there. Then we grab the last 4 characters, and we paste that to line 0 there. So essentially, it reads it backwards. So it's like what it's seeing is it sees the 6B1C first and then the 2795 later. Oh, one other thing that we should do. I don't even remember which overlay this is. It's kind of blue and orange. All right, let's go back to the TTAS and blue and orange. Then we double check that in the T tab. Okay, so if we did everything correctly, that overlay should be usable. So let's go to overlay workshop. Grab those 2 things. Go to my downloads. Yeah, we go to story stuff and then we paste. And we're just going to go with the same couple that I always test with because they're handy. There it is. Okay, so there it is. And sometimes it takes it a bit. Looks like it's working. It just takes it a while to. There it is. There you go. Those the Maxis body paint overlay. So to remove that, in theory, we should just be able to go remove overlay, blue and orange, and it removes nicely. Blue and orange. And that's it.